Welcome to Yoga with Susan Kelly and your first class for the new year. I'm not sure what you did last night, but I'm thinking that today, it's our Friday class anyway. We're going to take it nice and easy, and then next week we'll really start the year proper. Okay, but the first thing, we're going to start with a squat, because I think a squat is a great way of checking in with how your back feels. And it's been for quite a few years now. I've been saying this is the year of squatting, and I'm just wanting to make sure that you know that 2021 is another year of squatting. Okay, let's have the feet parallel if you can. Now, if this is complicated, you could also have your fingertips behind you. Yeah? Lifting the chest but pressing the feet down, because what we want is this flexion in the hips. If you don't need to hold the mat or the hands behind you, bring your hands together. Now the knees are squeezing in and the elbows are pressing out. The spine lengthens. So in my mind, today's class will be, a go-to class that's not going to take too much strength, but is going to, lubricate all the joints of the body and just allow you to check in with how you feel. That's really one of the wonders of yoga. And let's lift the heels. No one needs to ask us how we are. We don't need to tell anyone how we are. We can actually just get on the mat and know how we are. It's very liberating. And breathing in and breathing out. And in the midst of that knowing how we are, we practice not judging. So, if we're a bit tired or a bit sluggish or a bit excited or whatever, we learn that it's all okay. Okay, when you're ready, let's bring the knees down to the floor. Sitting back. Checking in with your 10 toes. And then untucking the toes into Virasana. You could have a block here if you need. We're going to take a breath here. So let's be clear. My new resolution is to be clear with instructions. The block would be crossways under the sitting bones. There could be 2 blocks. The block could also be a book or a towel or a blanket. Okay, and we're going to reverse that sequence. So come forward, tuck the toes under, and then bring the weight back again. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, we're going to lift the heels. No, we're lifting the knees, keeping the heels in the air. Lift the spine and find your balance. So your balance can be affected by sleep and thoughts, stimulants, all sorts of things. So it's worth checking in. How's my balance today? What do I need? How can I bring myself into a more comfortable, peaceful place? And then we're going to hold the mat or bring the hands behind you and lower the heels. And if you don't need the mat, you're going to bring your hands up. Okay, so there we have that squatting sequence. We're going to go from the squatting sequence into dog pose, which, is a fabulous go-to. Now, if you haven't had enough sleep or you drank a lot of alcohol tonight, you may not want to do dog pose because it might make you feel bad, and you could do pose of the child. Okay, but otherwise, let's come forward. Bend the knees and lift the hips to dog pose. Press the arms straight. Just straighten the legs and lower the heels. So let's be here, check in. How does your head feel now that it's filling with blood? How are your shoulders? How's your spine? How are your legs? Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, we're going to take a lunge. So lift the heels, look forward, lift the chest, and you're going to step that right foot forward between your thumbs, left knee to the floor, elbow to the knee, hand to the wrist. shoulders side by side, and let's be here, being curious about the push from behind and the yield in that left hip flex. And make sure that the ankle is under the knee. Head of that right thigh squeezes in slightly. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's take another breath. And when you're ready, lean forward, bring the hands down. So you can go straight back to dog pose, or you can do this little vinyasa. So plank or chaturanga, up face dog, and downward dog. Everyone in downward dog now. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's take another breath. Lift the heels. Let's step the left foot forward. If you can, your palms need to stay flat. Yeah, and you use a little more core. Let's make a right angle with the left leg, elbow to the knee, hand to the wrist. Square your shoulders to the short edge of the mat. And again, there's a yield in the right hip flex and a press from behind. Be curious about the change and the action, breath by breath. Notice where your mind goes. Can you keep your eyes looking just past your nose? One more breath. And again, we're heading back to dog pose as you choose. So plank or chaturanga. Inhale, up face dog. Exhale, downward dog. Take a breath here. We come into pigeon on the right side. Okay, so let's be clear. We want the back of the hips to stay side by side. So there's lots of options. Yeah, we want the knee to come behind the right wrist. And eventually the shin, right shin, is parallel to the short edge of the mat. But it's more important that, that you're broad here, that you're not tipping from side to side. So find your place and come onto your elbows and then reach back through the left leg. We want the left knee pointing down and the whole of the left foot down. Yeah, the spine is long. Ideally, we're working to sit the right bottom down, but if that's not down, you could also put a block or a towel under there. Yeah, so you know that I think there's always a way. Yeah. People stop me in the street here in Mission Beach, I've lived here for a long time, and say, I really would love to do yoga, I'm just not flexible enough. And I'm never quite sure what to say. I smile. So breathing in and breathing out. Okay, let's change sides. So again, straight back to dog pose or through a little vinyasa. One breath in dog pose. Left side. Yeah, again, we're working to bring the shin parallel to the short edge of the mat and the knee at the right knee to point straight down, but it's more important that you've got the space at the back. So this foot can come right into your hip bone if you need to. Bring your elbows down. Extend back through that right leg. Most of you will feel this on the, the left buttock, although it varies a lot. Breathing in and breathing out. Goodness, that was a quick 10 minutes. Let's take another breath here. Okay, You can swing that right leg forward. Okay, so that you're in a cross-legged position. Now, it'd be really nice to do even a minute or so of Shavasana. So Shavasana, where we lie down, so that we really, rather than just head off into the day, that we just notice what that feels like, so that we're really clear as we enter into this new year. Wow, what yoga does for us. I am often speechless with how to explain how potent it can be on so many levels. But you know that you're doing the practice. I wish you a very happy first day of the year, and I'm really excited about this new year ahead with you. Namaste.